Hi everyone. Today I'm going to give a short demonstration about the different artifacts that we have used during the development of the gym management system. But before I go into further details, let me give you a short overview of what framework we have used for the development. So we have used JavaScript, HTML and CSS for the view part. We have created a Maven project in Eclipse so that we don't have to bother about the dependencies. We are using Hibernate JPA to create the domain entities so that we need not create raw queries to interact with the database. We're using MySQL as a database and Tomcat as a servlet container. So the first document that I'm going to talk about today is the use case document. So this use case is a login user. We have three different kinds of users in a system: the manager, trainer, and customer. So all these users inherit from the main user. So this use case diagram shows the three primary actors in the different use cases. A manager is like the main user who is able to hire other managers, hire trainers, modify trainers, and add inventory into the system, delete inventory, create customers, and delete customers. A trainer can create workouts, create exercises, and assign workouts to the customer. A customer can provide feedback about the workout that has been assigned to him. So this feature regarding a customer login and customer providing feedback about the workout is a new feature that we have implemented in this iteration. The next diagram that I'm going to talk about is the domain model, which we have created using the requirements and the use case description. So this is the domain model of a gym system. We have the manager, trainer, and customer who in turn have personal information, which has a health insurance and address. A customer can provide feedback about a workout, and a workout has exercises, which in turn comprises of a duration or sets. And an exercise can be performed on a machine. A trainer also has work information, which comprises of qualification and workout. So based on the domain model, we created class diagrams and sequence diagrams. Since the class diagrams were huge, we split them up into two parts, one showing the model entities and the other diagram showing the controllers. So here we have the class diagram showing the different entities that we have, the domain entities that we have created. Again, we have the trainer, manager, and customer, which inherit from the gym system user, which in turn has personal information. And customer can be assigned workouts, and customer can provide feedback. A customer has exercise, and exercise has sets and durations. So this is the class diagram for a model. So using the graph pattern, we have created different controllers called the handlers. So as per the name, we have the manager handler, trainer handler, customer handler, login handler, and sister handler. So as per the names, this class, the manager handler handles manager information, this one handles trainer information, customer handles customer information, and so on. Since the creation and updation of the different users in the gym system require a lot of input parameters to be passed, we use the builder patterns to create separate builders to be able to create manager, trainer, and customers. I will just explain in a minute why these class diagrams are colored. The next diagram that we created to assist us in the development was use case sequence diagrams. And I won't go into details of every sequence diagram, but we created three sequence diagrams which based on three use cases that were interesting to us and which would help us in the implementation of our gym system. So the three use cases, these three sequence diagrams that we created were the login user, the assign workout, and the hire manager. The next diagram that I'm going to talk about is the package diagram. So these are the different layers of our application. The view layer, which sends requests to this application. and these requests are received by the servlet. We have the filters which add an additional layer of authorization to prevent unauthorized access. The listeners which are the listeners which interact with the Tomcat servlet container. So the listeners are responsible for creating the entity manager factories. At the domain layer, we have the handlers which create the different entities, and the domain layer interacts with the data access layer, which in turn interacts with the database layer, so that the domain layer doesn't have to directly create raw database queries. So if you see, we have different color codes over here. So this green color for the entity will show that all the entity classes uh, in the model are green in color, which shows a link between the package diagram and the class diagram. The next diagram is the system text. The next document is the system test document, which shows the different test cases that we have written down for each use case. So this is a step-by-step sequence of that is to be followed for a test case to be passed. So next we have the sequence. Next we have the refactoring list, which is a list of different refactoring that we have implemented during the development of a software process. So some of the refactoring were based on the feedback that we got in the previous iterations. Here we have the design pattern list that we have implemented. We have implemented the controller, facade, single, MVC, and builder patterns based on the implementation of our GIM system. For example, the MVC pattern helped us MVC pattern helped us keep the view independent of the domain layer, so at any point of time we can change the view and the domain layer will not be impacted. And last but not the least is a list of the challenges and the lesson learned in the development of this entire GIM management system. So definitely one of the main challenges was to decide on what framework and what database, basically how we are going to implement the GIM system. Once we decided that, the next challenge was on deciding what controllers are needed for the system and what responsibility should be assigned to them as per the GRASS principle. We also learned a lot of design patterns in class, but the main challenge for us was to see what design patterns apply in our context and what would be helpful for us to refactor to make our code better. And last but not the least, we also learned the importance of test-driven development, which enabled us in smooth refactoring of the code and also helped us detect uh, bugs in the system. So this was a short demonstration of our GIM management system. Thank you for being patient.